Love isn't just something you feel, it's something you do. But what does it look like to take love from just a word to an action? Whether it's showing love to yourself, your family, or even your business, today we're getting creative with it. Are you ready to put love into motion this month? Well, let's talk about it when we return. Welcome back to the Making of a Mompreneur show. I am your host, Rasheeda Green, the founder and CEO of Get Coaching, the host of the wonderful Mompreneur HQ community, and the creator of the Digimompreneur Academy, where we help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to get started with their online business so that they don't have to neglect themselves or their families while doing so. And we do that through coaching courses, community, and of course through the Digimompreneur Academy. All right. And if you are joining us live, go ahead and drop hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. We still want to show you some love and let us know where you're tuning in from. We like to see how far and wide the Mompreneur HQ community is. And we are keeping in line with our Love Month vibes as we discuss today's topic, love in action, creative ways to pour love into your life and business. All right, we started the month talking about showing love in three key areas, which were yourself, your loved ones, and your business. But today, we're going even deeper. I was reminded that love is more than just a feeling, it's an action. And First John 3:18 reminds us of that when it says, "Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." That means showing love through what we do, how we care for ourselves, our relationships, and yes, even our business. So today, let's talk about how we can put love into action. And in this episode, I'm giving you practical and creative ways to use the five love languages in your life and business. Have you ever heard of the five love languages? It's talked about pretty much in the marriage realm because it's something about relationships, the five love languages. We're also going to turn self love into a daily habit instead of something you squeeze in when you're burnt out. We're also going to talk about how you can show love to your business in ways that increase impact and income. And by the end of this episode, you'll have a fresh, exciting, and new ways to make love a lifestyle for yourself, your relationships, and your business. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and get your pen, paper, or digital device so that you can take some notes on how we can express love in a more deeper way by taking action in this episode. If you're ready, put hashtag ready in the comment field and let's get into it. All right. So, first, we're going to be talking about using the five love languages in life and business. Now, many of us have heard the five love languages, right? If you haven't, we got to go into that now. But Dr. Gary Chapman introduced these ways, introduced these love languages as ways people can give and receive love. And pretty much people have their own style of love languages. So he's going to talk about the five love languages, but everybody doesn't always have all of them or lean more to one or two of them. Okay. So we have words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. But really, did you know that these five love languages don't actually have to be applicable only to romantic relationships? You can use these in it to enhance your friendships, family life, and even how you choose to run your business. All right, so let's get into what these five love languages are if you're not familiar. Words of affirmation, ways that you can use this love language is to tell your loved ones how much you appreciate them. You know, you can literally just say, you provide a compliment, encouragement. I really love that you still open the doors for me. Or, I really love that you do your chores when you come home from work. It really makes me proud that you're being responsible, showing that you're responsible. Things like that. Just words of affirmation, encouragement, and just really affirming people and encouraging them. It is a love language that they may receive. All right. Another one is speaking encouraging words to yourself. A lot of these affirmation cards are out there. There are daily affirmations that you can buy, that they have on social media, that they have like actual pages dedicated to affirmations and positive speaking and motivational speaking and positive word uh, images. So those and reels. So those are things that you can speak positively to yourself, to encourage yourself. I am beautiful. I am loved. I am talented. I am worthy. I am enough. These are encouraging words or daily affirmations that you can speak over yourself. And that, again, words of affirmation to encourage, inspire, lift up. And then, as far as your business, a business tip that you can use would be to send an email or a social media shout out to your customers or clients, letting them know how much you appreciate them, spotlight them even on your social media. This is a way to use words of affirmation for yourself, for others, and your business. The next one we talk about would be acts of service. Now, acts of service is just what it sounds like, things that you can do. This is actually an active love language. You can do something helpful for a family member, like making them breakfast or running an errand for them. The acts of service in my household could be like my husband washing the dishes unprompted, right? That's acts of service. And let me just share too that your love language does not have to remain the same. It's not like you pick a love language and you're stuck. Your love language can truly change as you grow, as life changes, and so you're not necessarily stuck to one. When I first got married, let me tell you, it was all about them gifts, baby, and I'm about to go into that, receiving gifts. But acts of service after having children became the thing because, as I was nursing, up all night, tired, sleepy, acts of service became very important because now I know I am not washing the dishes like I should, like I would have if I didn't have an infant at home, or if I had enough sleep, if I had sufficient sleep. These things fell by the wayside, and my husband took up the mantle on some of those things and was able to provide these acts of service, which was so helpful, so appreciated. Now, had he bought me a necklace while I'm over here struggling and sleep deprived, I don't think that would have been well received at that time. I mean, I would have definitely been nice about it and cordial in responding that I was appreciative. But that's what I mean by when you don't have to necessarily be locked in to a love language. It can change because, and the thing about when you're married in that relationship, being able to know that it does change and being able to respond to those changes. Because, like I said, if initially my love language was gifts, receiving gifts. And so if my husband kept giving me gifts while I'm now depleted, deflated, deprived, sleep deprived, I may not have received that well, but those acts of service really came in when the switch came on. Okay, let me see, how can I help her out? And it became acts of service. So don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. But we will talk about now receiving gifts. That's the third one we're going to talk about for the love languages. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean that these gifts have to be monetary gifts. Doesn't have to be something that's expensive. Doesn't have to be something over the top, a trip, or no. The gift can be as simple as a handwritten note that you find on the side of your bed when you wake up in the morning. It could be a special playlist made for a friend, right? You miss your friend and you get all the TV show soundtracks y'all used to watch and put it on a playlist. Or your favorite songs, like you both fan out for Beyonce, for instance. You get all the favorite Beyonce songs that you love and put them on a playlist and send it over to a friend. Or it could be a small surprise, just some small surprise to make someone's day. So whether that be showing up to where they're speaking, or you know, just dropping by the house to say hello, or matter of fact, some people don't like you just drop by the house, but so maybe just dropping something in a note in their mailbox or something like that. These are just small surprises that you do it for someone who loves to receive gifts, and they will definitely receive them. And now another one, when we're talking about business, love languages for your business, what you could do for someone who enjoys receiving gifts is to send a handwritten thank you note to all of your customers, not all, excuse me. I don't know, you do the selection process, but to your customers. And then you can maybe offer a freebie or a special gift for your longtime supporters. Now that would be something that would be a surprise for them. I'm sure they would appreciate it, not expecting it. But yeah, for someone whose love language is receiving gifts, that would be a nice gesture. Now, number 4 would be quality time. Again, I'm sure you can pick up the clues on this one. Put away those distractions and give your full presence to someone, whether it's a spouse, your child, or a friend. Let me tell you, people whose love language is quality time like to have quality time. Now that doesn't mean I got to be in your face, all up in your face. Literally, you could be watching your favorite show, and someone who enjoys quality time, who may not even like your show, might come and sit down next to you just to be in your presence, just to spend time with you, just to hold your hand and cuddle. Quality time. So think about that for those people. What can you do to have that quality time with your loved one, right? That may impact them in such a way that they would feel the love. Now, how would you show this for your business? Host a live Q&A. Do a webinar or a VIP session so that you can actually connect with your audience in real time. And that's quality time. They get to know you. They get to, know and trust you. They get to ask you questions. You get to answer them. And so that it feels like a conversation, a dialogue, a connection for those people who enjoy quality time. And you may be able to recognize some of that as you work with your one-on-one coaching clients, that you can see based on their responses as you're talking to them about when are they able to get time in to do the assignments or the project or whatever it is that you're working on with them. And you can say, I was spending time with the kids, so I didn't get a chance to do it. Well, that could be one of their love languages, quality time. Or, yeah, I really enjoy, working with you, and I am ready to get moving with my business. I really think I'm ready to do this now. And these are words of affirmations, like I'm ready, I'm positive, I'm ready to go, I'm encouraged. So you can kind of hear as you're working with your clients what their primary love language is. But if it all else fails, just ask them, right? Give them the options and let them tell you which one is their love language. And then you can kind of make things in a way that they're able to receive in their own love language what you're trying to get to them. All right. And the last one I would say is physical touch. Now, I'm going to leave the business tip off of this one, as you might know why. But hug your kids, hold hands with your spouse, schedule a massage as a way to unwind if physical touch is yours, right? So we want to make sure that, physical touch is in the relationships section, not the business section. But now again, these are self-explanatory. Physical touch, what does that mean? Hug, kiss, hold hands, all that other stuff, spooning, all this, all this other stuff, just that's physical touch. We're going to move off of that just in case we go any further off the deep end with that one. All right. So, action step. We're talking about the 5 love languages that you can use in your relationships and your business. So, I want you to take a minute to think about which love language speaks to you the most. And those love languages are, we said, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch. Once you identify which one speaks to you the most, then I want you to choose one love language you can use this week to show love, whether it's through words, actions, gifts, time, or touch. Go ahead and find out which speaks most to you. Choose the one that you can use this week and then do it. We're talking about action. We're talking about action. This is love is action. All right, we're moving on to our next segment, which is self love in action, not just an afterthought. We all talk about self love, but let's be real. Most of us only focus on it when we're already feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or underappreciated. But self love should not be an afterthought. It should be intentional and proactive and not just something we squeeze in when we're already burnt out. So, here's how we can make self love a daily habit. How about design yourself a special morning routine that fills you up instead of jumping into emails right away or turning on your phone to look at social media first thing in the morning? Start your day off with something that feeds your soul. Now, that could be stretching, prayer, journaling, meditation, listening to music, or even just sitting in silence. Just you wake up, sit up, and just listen to the sounds of Mother Nature. So if you have birds, if you have crickets, or if you have a hum from the ticking of your clock, or a hum from the refrigerator, I don't know. Just sit in silence. Those are some things that you can do to start your morning off right. Then I want you to go ahead and set boundaries without guilt. You have to love yourself enough to say no when needed. Why? Because whether it's declining extra commitments or it's setting work hours that actually let you rest, boundaries protect your peace. You want to protect your peace. And saying yes all the time is really going to suck up all of your energy and drain you of your excitement for the day before you even get started. So, you can also nourish your body and your mind. Self love includes what you feed yourself physically and mentally. So, when we're talking about mentally, physically, we're talking about what you feed yourself. Go ahead, drink more water, get more movement in. You need to get those, if it's 8,000 steps, 5,000 steps, 8,000 steps, 10,000 steps. They range, recommendation ranges based on your age, height, weight, and all that good stuff. So just look into that. And then you want to, for your mental, to replace those negative self-talk, that negative self-talk with kind words and affirming words. I can never get things right. Whoa. Negative. Don't be a negative Nancy. We want you to go ahead and get those negative words out and say, or, reframe your words so that they're kind, so that you're saying, you know what? I'm definitely going to do better the next time. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm working my way towards that, or what have you. Do something more positive, because the way, however you think yourself to be, that's the way you're going to be. And if you're always thinking negative thoughts, all of your life will seem like negative. And so the way to combat that is to use positive, kind words about yourself. And another thing that we want you to consider is to create a weekly self-love date. Now, if you're married, you got your date nights. If you're a parent, you got your mommy daughter nights or your mom and son nights or what have you. But every week, schedule something just for you. Now, we're not saying it has to be expensive, it has to be a long trip or anything like that. It can be as simple as reading a book. How many times have you started a book and not finished? How many books do you have that have bookmarks in them, stopped around the first or second chapter? And I know this only because, I have that same challenge. But, how many of those? Just listen. Schedule something for yourself. If it means that you're going to look once a week, I'm just going to go and read 2 chapters out of this book so I can finally get done reading this book. And sometimes, you know what, it goes, you wind up going past that because you get so excited about the book, right? So read a book, try a new hobby, even take a solo coffee break. So if you don't have to meet up with your coworkers and your girlfriends and your friends, take yourself a nice little stroll to the coffee shop, sit down at the coffee shop and just take it in. All right. So we want you to pick one way that you'll prioritize self love this week, whether it's your morning routine, boundaries, or setting up that self love date we talked about this week. I want you to go right ahead and select how you're going to prioritize yourself and put it on the calendar if you need to, but do it. All right. And lastly, we're going to talk about loving your business in ways that increase impact and income. Okay, now let's talk about it. Let's talk about loving your business, not just as something you have to do, but something that you pour into with care and intention and that you love to do. It's hard to run a business when you don't like it. And it's especially hard when you're an entrepreneur. That means you run the business, you created the business, you bought the business, you're executing the business, whatever it is, it's yours. You get to choose what it is that you want to do in your business. And if you keep choosing something that you don't like, that you are dreading, then it's time to move on. It is time to move on. But I want to talk to you today about loving your business and pouring into your business in a way that is going to increase impact and income. And I have to share with you 3 powerful ways that you can show love to your business and do so this month. All right. So, one thing you can do is love your audience by making their experience with your brand smoother and enjoyable. So, whatever that means, when you look at your audience or your client journey or customer journey, from how they get introduced to you all the way to how they become an actual purchasing customer or client, what is it that you can do to help that customer experience? Whether is it updating your website? Is it creating a nicer, better, more impactful welcome email sequence? Or is it to simplify the way that people can book your services? Do they have to do 4 clicks? Can you reduce it to 2 clicks or 1 click? Right? Look at those things and how you can elevate your customer experience and show those customers love by acting, by doing something to help their experience to be better. You also want to reconnect with your passion and your purpose. Why? Because if you're running a business and we just talked about it and you're not passionate about that thing, you don't love it anymore, it's just a drain of just sucking all of your energy out. It is so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day task and forget why you started. But you don't ever want to forget your why because that's your motivation. So take time this month to reflect on what impact do I want my business to have? What is the impact I'm looking to make? What legacy do I want to create? If I'm building this business, what is the legacy that I want to leave behind or create? All right. Then give your business the love it deserves by charging what you're worth. Now, maybe let me rephrase it because your worth is priceless, right? You're priceless. But the work and the services that you provide, you want there to be a match on the value that you provide and the cost or the investment to get that value. So, or over delivering, because that's a thing, right? If we're going to charge $5,000, it has to have like a whole bunch of stuff. And no, that's not necessarily true. It needs to have a transformation because people are coming to you for a transformation. And if that transformation can happen in 5 steps versus 17, I think they're going to take the 5 steps. And so what, it doesn't take, they didn't get 17 items or 17 modules. If they can get the impact and the desired transformation that they need in 5 steps, then I think that's what's more important. And so we don't have to over deliver just to justify the price that we charge for our services. This is your sign to love yourself and your business enough to charge appropriately. Look at what value you're providing. Look at the service. Look at all the bits and pieces, including what it takes to provide that service. So, whether it be your systems, such as if you're doing webinars, so the webinar system that you're using, the platforms that you're using, Stripe, PayPal, if they're charging fees, whatever it is, make sure you're including that. If you're using, if you have a team that you have or out that you're outsourcing work to, consider that in your pricing as well. You want to look at your price and ask, am I valuing my time, energy, and expertise the way I should? That's how you give your business the love it deserves, by not being on the struggle bus because you're undervaluing or over delivering on your services. So, I want you to pick one way to show love to your business, whether it's improving the customer experience, reconnecting with your purpose, or setting better pricing. Either way, pick one and actually show your business some love. All right, we talked about how love is more than a feeling, it's an action. And we talked about how you can use the 5 love languages to strengthen relationships and your business, how to make self love a daily habit, not just something you do when you're burned out, and show your love to your business in ways that increase impact and income. So, after each segment, I told you, gave you some action steps that you can take. But here's your homework: choose one action from each category and share it with me. Comment below, DM me on social media, or tag me using love in action. Hashtag love in action. So we can keep the conversation going. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you subscribe, share, and leave a review. Hey, if you liked it and you loved it, go ahead and write that down so that other people would be inspired to watch our show. And maybe even share it. When you share it, put your own comment about what you gleaned from the show so that they know what to look forward to. Let's keep making love a lifestyle, not just a feeling. And until next time, stay focused, stay fabulous, and keep showing love.